Good morning to you. It's so good to see you. So good to be back after, 2 weeks of being away and resting and being with friends and family. And I hope you've been well all through. My name is Winnie Lubembe. Welcome to the show. This is Your World on this Wellness Wednesday. And today I am alone. Mikali is resting because she's been running the show for 2 weeks. So she deserves to rest a little bit, okay? But I hope that you've been well. This is Wellness Wednesday, like I said. And today on the conversation, we'll be focusing on a topic that I think we talk about every single day, but then again, we don't talk about it in a way that we should talk about, okay? We talk about it in terms of, oh, Nani did this, or I did this. How about we try this, and all those things. And based on the things that we see online, either on TikTok, on Instagram, on YouTube, about things that people are doing, and especially when it comes to the topic of discussion today, and sometimes it's mostly wrong. So today we have experts on the show to help us with the conversation, and I am talking about female hygiene habits, okay? And we're looking at what's normal, what's not. So female hygiene habits and what's normal, what is not, what is it that you need to know, what is it that you need to avoid, what is it that you need to start doing as early as now, to help improve, when it comes to female hygiene. So it's gonna be an amazing conversation. Feel free to interact with us. You know the drill by now. So we're live. That means you can call in any time with any question that you have, any gynecological question, any question on nutrition, any question on, I don't want to say aesthetics because we have a waxing therapist with us. So when it comes to hygiene and grooming, in that area, feel free to also ask your questions, and they will answer the question. So you can either call, you can use our WhatsApp number 0112 500 400, or better yet, use, our social media platforms, and that is at NTV Kenya across all board. But before I introduce my guest, and even as you prepare for your questions, we have a question for you this morning, and the question is pretty simple, okay? The question is, what is one piece of advice about personal hygiene you wish someone gave you as a teenager, okay? What is one piece of advice about personal hygiene that you wish someone gave you as a teen? That is the question that we're asking you this morning. Engage with us, like I said, either on our social media platforms or our WhatsApp number, 0112 500 400, or better yet, give us a call and tell us what is that one piece of advice that's about personal hygiene that you wish someone gave you as a teenager. So, as you prepare to answer your questions and even as you write them down, let me introduce my guests for today. On my immediate left, I always have to do this, the left and right thing. I don't know if I'm the only one who's like, where's left and where's right, okay? We have Dr. Francis Were, who is a gynecologist, joining us this morning. Good to see you, Doc. How are you doing? I'm fine. The last time you were here is like, do you how many years? How you been? You're growing younger.
Maybe about 3 years ago.
3 years ago.
I'm eating well.
Yeah?
I'm grooming well. And I'm talking well.
Hey, yeah. You're grooming well, you're talking well, and you're eating well. That's why you look way younger than when you were here last time. Karibu Sana, thank you so much for making the time. We have Joyce Award. She's not new, okay? If you've been an ardent follower of Your World, you know her by now, okay? And she's a consultant dietitian joining us today on set. Good to see you. Leo jakuja na fight. Leo makuja in peace.
Okay. Thanks for having me again.
Karibu Sana, Joyce. And we also have Catherine Moirimu, who is a waxing therapist. Let me tell you, from Zanzibar. Good to see you. Good to have you. You all look amazing. Mulikula nini ama muliambiana, because there's a theme going on about, the flowers kidogo and then the blacks. Me mkuntumia memo. Mkuntumia memo, you guys. But so these are the panelists that we have today on set. Can I ask you the same question that we're asking the people before we even start with understanding hygiene and what it looks like, okay? What is that one piece of advice you wish someone gave you when you were a teenager? Who wants to go first? Joyce, you look like you're ready.
Oh my.
What is it?
Is there really? Maybe to eat right.
Okay.
Eat right.
Yeah.
Trying to avoid the sugary foods. Nothing much. Yeah, because I grew up being a tomboy, so.
Really?
Yeah.
You?
Yeah.
I wouldn't guess. I would never guess.
So I think I ventured into most things ladies wouldn't. So.
Yeah? Is that why then you became a dietitian? Because you wished someone told you these things, and now that you're here, you're telling people
part of, and also part of what I've seen in terms of diet and medications or conditions.
Okay.
Yeah, so it has formed it.
I see. All right, Catherine, I'm sorry to meet a Kate. So Kate?
Okay, as a woman,
Yeah.
I wish I grew up being told that taking a lot of water helps your femininity you'll be clean always and you'll smell fresh.
Wow, wait. Because let me tell you, I thank you so much for mentioning the term smell. So yesterday night, I was just, you know how you're perusing through TikTok and late at night you're supposed to be asleep, but you're on TikTok, okay? So I came across this post by this lady who was saying, ladies, listen, you were never meant to smell like strawberries. You were meant to smell like good health. And I figure that is such a good way to actually start the conversation, which we'll do in a second. But Doc, what is that one? I know the focus today is on women, but still, what is that one thing that you wish you were told when you were younger?
Well, when I was, as a man, of course, we tend to think more about dressing well.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Eating healthy, not so much, because, you know, as boys, you know what people like in school.
Yeah.
Mukate, the like. But then generally, as a young person, I love dressing well.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I think I still keep it.
You do.
date.
You still do. You still do. Okay. Oh, that's very interesting. Okay, I'll tell you mine maybe towards the end of the show. But for now, we're focusing on hygiene, right? So can we just understand hygiene in itself? Because, and also just like understand the, I want to say like female reproductive area, because essentially that is the subject of conversation in hindsight, but the focus is on hygiene.
Yes.
But can we just understand the anatomy and how it was meant to be? And then we look at later on what we are doing to either make the situation better or aggravate the situation.
Okay. So the female anatomy is very complex and very interesting as it is.
Okay.
Because the way God made the lady, the lady was made from the man's ribs, okay? Remember the Garden of Eden, right? And she was made in a way that the lady and the man would be compatible.
Okay.
So the female genitalia is in an area that's actually more or less covered, okay? So there's the external part, what we call the vulva, okay? And then the internal part, which is the birth canal. Or I can use the medical term, the vagina for that matter. And the way it's made in a way that, of course, after the vagina, there's the cervix, and then the uterus, which is the womb. So it's a whole system, the reproductive system. And it's made in such a way that it has its own mechanisms. The inner part tends to take care of itself, that is the vagina. And it's put in a way that it's angulated at about 60 degrees, so that whatever is inside there can flow outwards. Okay. And then the next question you're going to ask, what is the function of the male reproductive organ?
Okay. Male or female?
Male, or
Male.
rather female.
Female,
sorry,
yes.
not male, sorry.
Okay.
Yeah, so what's the function of the female reproductive organ? One is for procreation. That is bringing forth life. And two is for recreation. And after procreation and recreation, then there's also childbirth. So those are the three main functions. So that tells you what? That it is a sacred organ. It's a sacred organ in the sense that you don't allow too many things inside there. There's only one thing, which I don't want to mention, that's allowed in there.
It's 10 a.m.
But then, of course, with modernity, we have so many things coming around, and people get ideas, you know? In terms of, let's say, cleanliness. For instance, when somebody's in their periods, some of them prefer using tampons. That's a foreign body being inserted in there. It should not, actually. But then...
It shouldn't?
Well, it's a foreign body. You can actually insert it, but for a period of time. Okay. That's why you are advised that maybe I'm moving too fast. That these are things that you put there for some period of time, and serve its purpose, and then you need to change. You don't stay with it the whole day, the whole 12 hours, you know, because being foreign, there are organisms that are growing there, and these organisms can actually react to the presence of a
foreign body. Okay. Interesting. Did you guys know about the 60-degree angle? You said 60 degree. See, We learn every day. I didn't know.
You asked me about anatomy.
Yes.
And that's how it is.
Yeah.
It's actually custom made that way with a purpose. Not just for purposes of self-cleansing, but even when it comes to procreation itself. Because remember, even the male organ has an angle, and the angle has to match the female organ, so that the process can take place
comfortably.
Yes.
Well, I like that. Okay, let's talk about
Comfortably is the one.
Comfortably is the one. Okay. So understanding the anatomy and understanding the function and understanding how it operates, because like you said, it takes care of itself.
Correct.
Okay, but you know, we as women, as human beings, we want to try different things that sometimes puts us in danger, you know, other than helping us. So we'll get them to understand these foreign, you know, objects and the things that we're doing, either insertion or application, that sometimes bring us problems when it comes to hygiene.
Yes.
Can we talk about food in a moment? And I know it's very broad when we think about food and what we put into our bodies and what it does, you know, to our bodies, not just physical, but also, you know, internal as well. But for that specific area, okay, can we talk about the role of food, or the things that we take and how it helps the anatomy to thrive?
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Thank you so much. So remember, Doc said there's microorganisms there, so we like to call it flora.
Okay.
So flora, we mean the space where we have bacteria, whether good or bad. Yeah, so you find people have recurrent bad bacteria. Doc will give us the good name.
Yes.
Yeah, where if you last time I was here, we were talking about pre and probiotics, where probiotics is what really gets to balance out the good from the bad. So you need more good than the bad. So if you get more bad than the good, then you have to go and see Doc every single time.
Yes.
Yeah. But for me, I talk about how to get more good than the bad. So if you talk about diet, then we are discussing mostly about prebiotic and probiotic. So these are just fancy names for bacteria. Yeah. So the good bacteria and the food that feeds the good bacteria. So in the not in the stomach, in the vagina, we have there's E. coli, which is a bad bacteria. Then we have lactobacillus, and I don't want to get into the names, but we have types of bacteria where you have to now feed prebiotics. So prebiotics are talking about the whole grain type of foods. Whole grains are foods that are not processed, foods that have lots of fiber, foods that don't have lots of sugar. Yeah, so if you take the inverse, if you take lots of less whole grain, then you tend to have more of the bad bacteria. So we're talking about having lots of fruits and vegetables so that you can have your fiber. We're talking about limiting your sugar so that you don't feed the bad bacteria. Because if you feed the bad bacteria, then you get into cravings. So when you get into cravings and take lots of sugary foods, your vagina doesn't want a lower pH. It's normally a high pH. So if you get, if you take lots of sugary foods, then you get to see the doctor more frequent, because now you get into lots of vaginitis, lots of repeated yeast infections, and all that can be balanced out by diet.
By diet.
Yeah.
Wait, so what you're saying is craving is because we're not doing something right. That
Correct.
is why we're having cravings.
Correct. So cravings are the bacteria trying to tell the brain, feed me more sugar. Yeah.
Ooh.
So it's bad bacteria which has grown, and now it's communicating with the brain. So there's a brain-gut axis.
Yes.
Yeah? So the bacteria communicates through the vagus nerve to the brain.
Yeah.
So if you have lots of bad bacteria, then you are communicating with the brain, give me more. Yeah, so give me more of the craving. I'm craving sugar, I'm craving cake, I'm craving ice cream, I'm craving whatever. But if you take lots of the fiber and the fruits and veggies, then you lower the bad bacteria.
Okay.
And you lower the cravings, and even the bloating, the constipation, all that is just about the gut and what you eat.
Hey, so the next time we're going about telling people, you know, we have cravings to do cake and whatnot. You're telling people
red flag.
Red flag. Oh my.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. So we have like 2 minutes to go on a break. Can we talk about grooming, okay? And grooming in the area and how important that is. And I mean, I have so many questions, but yes, can we just understand grooming and why it's important for us to be very mindful?
To be mindful of the area?
Yes.
First, you have to mind the type of cloth you're wearing, because the type of cloth protects the area. If you put more of cotton, it will absorb every discharge and everything that is coming from the area.
Okay.
When it's absorbed, it's not easy for it to be recurrent in the body again.
Okay. Okay.
So when you put more of synthetic clothes, you'll have so many discomforts, such that when you sweat now, you'll have itching.
Okay.
Itching is not also good for the area because it produces its own fighting. It will fight itself.
Okay.
How it fights itself is through ingrowns, bumps, such things. Yeah.
Gosh, yes. We've seen a lot of women complaining about ingrowns and bumps and whatnot.
Yeah.
The simple question would be not to groom or not to groom, because I know there's the to wax or not to wax, to shave or not to shave, okay? But I don't know whether it makes sense when I say to shave or not to shave, like in a nutshell, to groom or not to groom. Because we've seen some people who say, but God made us this way. There's a reason why we have, pubic hair, because it is meant to protect the knees from coming in. So there's some people who will just go like that because that is what it was meant to do, or to happen. So to groom or not to groom?
To groom.
To groom,
Yeah.
okay. When we come back from the break, we'd want to understand more on the grooming and what it looks like. What is it that we're doing wrong? What is it that we need to start doing right? Should we all be waxing? Or should we all be shaving? Or should we all be, go as it is? But also, you talked about discharge, which Doc will come back then to understand the good and the bad, and how do we differentiate between the two. But even as we do that, remember the question that we're asking you today is very, very simple. And the question is, what is one piece of advice about personal hygiene you wish someone gave you as a teen? What is one piece of advice on personal hygiene you wish someone gave you as a teen? Engage with us across all social media platforms. That is at NTV Kenya, or our WhatsApp number 0112 500 400, or better yet, give us a call. We have the experts here to help answer all your questions, but we'll do that after the break. Do stay with us. Welcome back to the show. Glad you're still with us. The show is Your World on this Wellness Wednesday. And as you know by now, every Wednesday we talk about anything and everything health, lifestyle, things that you need to know as far as your health is concerned, okay? And today we're tackling female hygiene habits, and we're looking at what's normal and what's not, okay? And we are learning a lot, okay? If you did not know about the 60-degree angle that Doc mentioned, now you know, okay? But the question that we're asking you today is very, very simple. The question is, what is one piece of advice about personal hygiene that you wish someone gave you as a teen? Once again, what's one piece of advice about personal hygiene that you wish someone gave you as a teenager? So Lastborn here on Facebook says, one piece of advice about personal hygiene that would have been super helpful as a teen is to wash your hands frequently and properly. It's amazing how often you touch your face, you share germs with others and get sick. Learning good hand hygiene habits early on would have saved me from from a lot of colds and illnesses. Plus, it's such a simple habit to get into, okay? Lydia Wambui Matthew, still on Facebook, says, wet wipes were meant for adults too. And if I'm being honest, especially the flushable ones, I should have been told that, when I was younger. Another person says, this is Carolina Fee on Facebook says, I learned everything about hygiene and my teachers did an incredible job. If I fail, I failed myself and I have no one to blame. And then another person says, this is Kevo Ndirangu, who says, you see, soap kills germs. At least wash your hands. And then another person says, this is Naguso Shelule Bisei on Facebook still, says, you short and clear. Wash your hands using soap and water, especially after using the restroom and before eating. Brush twice a day and floss daily for oral health. Keep your skin clean. Where is it? Yeah. Nunua mafuta, wacha kuparara. Okay. And then says, apply fragrance. Yes. Perfume daily to control bad odor. Change daily, including undergarments and socks. Keep your nails clean and trimmed. And spread your bed after waking up. Respect yourself and reduce the ego of, hey, That's how I can't say you on TV. But yes, keep them coming on our way. That is at NTV Kenya, both on Facebook and on X. And his WhatsApp number 0112-500-400. Or if you have a question for any of my panelists this morning, feel free to do so by calling us live. We are live. So that means you can call in anytime. And any question that you have as far as nutrition, as far as we have a waxing therapist. Okay, so when it comes to grooming, if you want to pass on the question, please do so. And we also have a gynecologist with us today on set. So Doc, so does that question to groom or not to groom? Yes. Okay, because there's a way we were created, okay?
Correct.
And there's a way we're trying to make things, you know, aesthetics, you know, they're very important, but really to groom or not to groom.
Actually, when you talk of aesthetics, you're actually bringing me home, because actually
that is where you were going.
Besides being just a gynecologist,
yes,
I also practice cosmetic gynecology.
Oh,
and
wow.
Cosmetic gynecology is all about aesthetics.
Yes.
The looks, especially the genital area.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And for you to feel good, you have to look good.
Good. That's true. Yeah.
And this is where now your question comes. To groom?
To groom or not to
or
groom?
Not to groom.
Yeah.
I think one thing is that grooming is a personal choice. There are ladies who opt not to do any shaving or any waxing or whatever. Yeah. They just want to stay natural.
Yeah.
So be it. That's very good, and that's how it's supposed to be. Nature made it in a way that you must have hair down there. Okay. And our work as ladies to feel good, you want to make sure that that place is clean.
Yes.
By making sure it's clean from outside, clean of all the hair and all that.
Yeah.
But now, let's learn a few things about, even if you're doing the grooming, and I'm sure our friend here will actually testify.
Yeah.
As you shave, as you wax, the hair doesn't stop growing. It continues growing. It continues to grow. Okay? And how you shave matters. If you shave badly, then the hair grows badly, irritates the skin, you get pimples, you get rashes, and you're not comfortable down there. Okay. Okay? And in fact, some people whose skins are very sensitive, I even advise not to shave so that the skin doesn't get irritated as the skin, as the hair sprouts from the skin. Yeah. So you just leave it that way, let it be, just trim it a little, and just keep it short. Okay. The reason why they insist on shaving is because during the month, during the time of the month, like when they're having their menses, okay, with the, the menses coming out, it feels messy and they have to keep cleaning themselves. So they'd rather have a clean shaven area that, nothing sticks on anything, and you just wipe and feel good. Yeah. Yes. So whether you want to groom or not, that's a personal choice. Yeah. But if I was a lady, I would not.
No, you wouldn't?
You would not?
I would not shave.
Why?
I would leave it that way because that's how nature made it.
Hey, wait, Doc.
Okay. But just trim it and just keep it nice and short.
Okay. So what you're saying is, you know how as we want the area to be as soft as a baby's nini?
Yes.
Okay? So what you're saying is that is wrong. The fact that you're completely removing... First of all, why do we have hair down there? Can we understand the purpose? So that when you're talking about trim or not trim, we know.
Yes, the purpose of having hair down there, that hair is, actually, especially the hair around the pubic area, is meant to be protective. It's like a canopy that protects the skin beneath, you know, from harmful bacteria that would actually, even if anything is to go there, the hair will be the first line of defense. Okay. All right? And that is why it's there. Okay. But that's a mistake many of you ladies don't know. That this hair should not be here, so it has to come out all the time, every day, every 2 days you're shaving and all that. So it has a purpose.
Okay. Yes. So we shouldn't completely remove the hair. And so this is you as a gynecologist talking, not you as if you were a lady.
I think what one should do is just to keep it, just modest.
Okay.
Not too overgrown, because when it's too overgrown also, as you put on your undergarment, of course, it doesn't look very tight.
No, it doesn't.
So you want to look good and also feel good. Okay. So just trim it and leave it nice.
Okay.
Simple.
But if I was...
If I was, I wouldn't.
But really, so are there effects to either not to groom or to completely like over groom? quote unquote.
Yes.
Is there effects too on either?
Over-grooming can come with issues.
Okay.
For instance, I'm sure she's going to testify this. There, like when you're waxing, you use a lot of force, isn't it? You apply whatever it is, I don't know what you call it, and then you just rip it off. We've had instances where ladies have had their labia ripped off during waxing. Yes.
Wow.
True or false?
In some cases, yes.
In some cases, yes. So it can happen. It has its own effects. And you can imagine a lady being brought to hospital with a ripped off labia, which now requires reconstruction. Okay? And that is now part of our work to reconstruct the, the labia that has been actually damaged during, waxing.
Yeah.
And bring it back to shape. Yes. So that this lady at least can now feel good, because now she had gone to try and feel good by waxing.
Yeah.
And in the process ends up
something else
damaging the labia.
Okay.
And that affects her self-esteem.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
That's extreme.
Yeah. So that's
like
extreme.
How much
that
force are
can
you?
happen. Because people's skins have different tensile strengths.
It's true. It's
so
true.
if you overdo it, you can actually rip off the skin.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Any other effect? Because now, that sounds.
Well, that's not meant to scare you. Those are actually.
It's already scary.
Those are actually extreme situations that can happen. Okay, but of course, then even if you just waxing just enough.
Okay.
Some people still react. Okay. Yes. Because depending on the direction where how the hair is growing. For instance, if the hair is growing south, and you shave, let's say, from south to north.
North, yeah.
How will that hair grow? When it's coming from the skin?
Yeah, she knows. She's actually demonstrating that way. Yeah.
It will actually retain the skin. And these are the ladies who come to us with, pimples.
Yeah, and the bumps and
They want medication.
Yeah.
What do? I don't like the way it looks.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So those are some of the reason why I'm actually advocating live and let live. Let the hair be.
Okay. But then again, so the effects of then letting the hair be, and like you said, overgrowing of the same, it's also not good.
Overgrowing, of course, is also not very advisable. Because if the hair overgrows and you don't clean properly, then you end up with some, the
odors.
Odors that you don't like, and of course even those animals that occasionally colonize that place can also come along. So
animals. Okay. And then so is that why then maybe we see a lot of cases of infections, recurrent infections here and there? It's because we're not taking care of the area properly, and what is it that we need to do? We'll come to you for that, because infections, recurrent infections, and all those things. What are they brought about by, and how do we then keep them at bay? There's a lot of demonstration that you were doing and responding and reacting to. What is it that then you've seen? Do you see a lot of people who prefer either to shave or to wax, or not to, completely, or just trim? And what is the benefit of one, say, versus the other?
Okay, for waxing, it's so different from the shaving that Doc is talking about, because with the shaving, you'll just cut the hair. So that means you'll change the direction. You either shave opposite or towards, you'll change the direction. Okay. But with waxing, you'll have to look at which direction the hair is growing to. You apply the wax towards, then pull against. Okay. If you do the vice versa, that's when you get the pimples and the rashes that Doc is talking about. Okay. But now, mostly we advise waxing, because you see, I'll be able to clean off the skin and look at the ingrowns. Right. If it's well extracted, it won't regrow or recur. So the ones that Doc treats are the ones that recur. Meaning it wasn't extracted since she started shaving or waxing. Yeah. Okay. Yes.
All right. You also talked about like irritations, itching, here and there. Why is that the case? Is it that we're shaving wrong, we're waxing wrong, we're not doing, that at all?
With waxing, we get different reactions. Once you could have rashes, they look more of small pimples. That is if you are waxed towards the wrong direction.
Okay.
Secondly, ingrowns that you get either by waxing or by shaving.
Okay.
If it was waxed the wrong way, ingrowns will recur.
Yeah.
If the ingrown was not extracted, it will also recur. With shaving now, like I was doing,
you are like
was talking.
this and then this.
So if your hair is growing towards, then you will shave like this.
Again.
What the hair will go back now, start growing to a different direction.
Okay.
So skin itareact, itafura.
Okay.
That hair will coil back and form an ingrown.
Okay.
And now when that is occurring, you will feel itchy. When you sweat, you itch, and you've worn the wrong type of undie, it will be so uncomfortable for you. Yeah.
All right.
Yes.
We'll talk about then the what to do before preparing to come for an appointment. I don't know if you've seen this video, still on TikTok. So this lady, I think she's a waxing therapist, and she was talking about what to do before, your waxing appointment or even shaving, because you also do that. And she was talking about the things that she has seen. That there was just like I'm sure you also have those stories. We'll come back to you to understand that. So cravings is not a good sign. We need to take care of very mindful of what we are ingesting so that we do not have cravings and also infections and all those things. Can we talk about then the infections, either recurrent or not, based on what we're eating? What is it that we're doing wrong that we're seeing a lot of problems that we have to seek Daktari's help every single time, and yet these are the things that we're bringing about on ourselves? And also please address the myths and misconceptions.
Okay, good.
Yes.
So we talked about fruits and veggies. So if you're eating less of that, remember we said we have flora in the vagina. So that is just the area or the environment where bacteria grows. So it depends whether you're growing bad or good. So if you grow bad bacteria, then you have to see the doctor with the recurrent infections. But if you're growing good bacteria, then that helps you even with the odor that you tend to expel, right? So if you're eating foods that have lots of prebiotics, remember we said probiotics are the good bacteria, and then we now need to feed the good bacteria. So we have to eat lots of prebiotics. So by eating prebiotics, I mean you eat foods that have lots of fiber, lots of whole grain, and that is mostly your fruits and veggies. Then apart from that, you have to hydrate, because we know we urinate, so we make the kidneys make urine. So depending on the not the strength, on the quality, not the quality. The excess of your toxin, then your urine is now smelly. Right? But if you take lots of water, if you're hydrating, then now that dilutes the toxins, and now your urine is not smelling anymore. Right? So if you lots of hydration, not just the water, there's fluids, there's fruits that have lots of water content. So the watermelons, we're talking about the pineapples, we're talking about the celery, we're talking about grapes or other berries, and then that also helps with fiber. So remember we talked about prebiotics feeding the probiotics. So lots of fiber, lots of fruits and veggies, lots of whole grain. So we want to get away from the processed foods, less of the whites, less of the processed foods and the deep fried foods. Then you're taking more of the whole grain. So lots of let's say grade 1 ugali, lots of the sweet potatoes. So the goodness with sweet potatoes, again, it has lots of vitamin A. Vitamin A is an antioxidant, help with the detoxing. So it helps your kidney function well. So therefore the urine that you make is lighter. Doesn't have to be, is not toxic or excess of toxin, so it will not smell bad.
Smelly. So listen, we're taking a lot of okra, we're taking a lot of flaxseeds, we're taking a lot of I don't know what, you know, and it's because we see these things online, and we're told, do this, it will help with this, do that, it will help with this. There's a lady I actually saw online who says, so she has a little girl, and the little girl, she's like, young girls, they're playing outside, they're this, they're that, they're smelly, they're this. So she's introducing the little girl to flax seeds and cloves and making tea and giving to the baby because you need to smell good as a lady, as a woman, and all those things. And I'm thinking, okay, And some of those things extreme. You'll answer that. We have questions. On our WhatsApp number 0112 500 400. Let's see. Let's look at the questions and then we'll come back and address that. So this one says, hello, your world. Welcome back, Miss Winnie. Oh, thank you. Good to see you. My question to the panelists are, do pineapples help in eradicating vaginal smell? Second question is about yogurt. Does regular consumption of natural yogurt also help in affairs of the vagina in terms of smell? Two questions, you can take note. And then this other one says, should our ladies wash the vagina with medicated soap? Does it trigger bacterial vaginosis and other UTIs? All right, Doc, do you want to take that?
In fact, let me take the three.
Okay, the three.
At a go.
Okay.
There is the issue of using yogurt.
Yes. We've been told.
Okay. And then the pineapples.
Yes.
Okay. Now, let me start with the pineapple issue. The pineapple story is very interesting in the sense that there are ladies who say that when you take the pineapple, besides keeping your system clean and all that, it also helps prepare you for that evening. Whether it's true or not, the jury's out there. Okay. But then pineapple is a fruit, lots of vitamin C in it, fiber. As to whether it actually eliminates the smell that one gets in the vagina, that is also neither here nor there.
Okay.
Now, the smell comes about when the pH of the vagina changes. pH is the acidity of the vagina. The vagina basically is usually acidic.
All right.
Okay? And why is it acidic? It's acidic because one thing you should know is that the vagina has almost 1,500 different types of bacteria.
Okay.
And there's one master bacteria. And the master bacteria is called lactobacilli, which she mentioned. So lactobacilli is responsible for keeping that acidity so that the vaginal environment can remain stable.
Okay.
All the good bacteria exist in harmony. So when there is any little disturbance of the environment, and the disturbance can come in many ways. Okay? Number one, from inserting foreign bodies in the vagina. Okay? Number two, when one maybe has an infection. Of course, when there is sexual intercourse, semen tends to disrupt the acidity of the vagina.
All right.
And that can actually result in a problem.
Okay.
Okay? So, lactobacilli basically helps to control that. Right. Okay? And also your hormones also have a role to play in terms of determining the acidity or not.
Okay.
So when there's disturbed acidity, okay, yogurt may not help you because yogurt, you're taking it orally. And by the way, we discourage people from using yogurt down there. Some people think that you take yogurt, put it down there, it will help you. No.
I tell you, natural yogurt,
Greek
yogurt.
Do not.
Okay.
Remember what I said with my opening statement. There's only one thing allowed in there. Okay?
Okay.
Yes. But when you put foodstuffs there, in the hope that it's going to cleanse the vagina, you're lying to yourself because you're actually worsening the situation that's already there. You also mentioned issues about the kind of discharge that we expect. Now, the normal vaginal discharge should be either clear, slightly milky, okay, with no color, okay, it can be clear, and also it should have no smell. When there is a smell, then you know there is something which is not right. And ladies are very sensitive about smell. Very, very sensitive, okay? To a point that some of them even end up, spraying deodorants to try and ward off that smell, but that will not help. The remedy is to take care of the offending agent, okay? Clean yourself properly, okay? Change your panties. And if there's an infection, see your doctor, get treated. And then you'll be okay.
Okay.
Yes.
Hey, no, for it, bodies. I know you have a lot to add into that. Okay, please go ahead.
Great. So let me just jump into there. As a person dealing mostly with foods, right? So there's lots of myths around inserting garlic, inserting yogurt, and maybe drinking cinnamon. Mostly they just want to mask the smell and even trying to balance the pH. There's some who will tell you the myths that will say take cinnamon because it's alkaline, now it will balance the pH. As Doc has said, you don't really want to balance the pH. You want it to remain acidic, because if it's acidic, then it now bars bacteria from growing there, right? So then we've discussed lactobacilli is in the vaginal. So we want to take things that are high in that particular bacteria so that you can grow the good bacteria, and then remember feeding that good bacteria. So yogurt has lots of lactobacilli. And now that we figured out there's a yogurt that has prebiotics and probiotics, right? Yeah. That is the best yogurt you want to go for. But if you can't get it, then get the one that has the probiotic, which is lactobacilli. But speaking of yogurt again, if you go ahead and now take the flavored yogurt, then now you're spoiling. Right, yeah, so because sugar, remember we talked about sugar and the bad bacteria? Yes. So you want to keep it natural. So if it's sugar, you want to use the flavored from the fruits. So remember the fruits will come in the prebiotics, the fibers, and the natural sugars that you want to put in the yogurt. So you want to take that orally and never vaginally. Yeah, because once you take it orally, then it's broken down in the stomach, and then it's absorbed in the blood and what's not. Then it finally gets
go to the right place.
Exactly. So that is for yogurt. Then we have pineapple. Pineapple, as Doc said, is high in vitamin C, and it also has an enzyme that is good for the bacteria. Yeah, it also helps the E. coli not to merge onto the not to overgrow, basically, because the overgrowth of E. coli is what now brings in the vaginitis and then now the recurrent yeast infections. So you want to take lots of pineapple as well. So apart from vitamin C, it comes with the enzyme that will help with the lowering the overgrowth of the E. coli. Then you want to take lots of watermelon. Remember, watermelon has lots of water. 98% of watermelon is water. Apart from that, it comes with fiber. It comes with magnesium from the seeds. So you want to also eat the seeds. The story of the lady you talked about, that is my kind of client. You want to feed babies from way younger, right? So I also deal with babies where by 7 months, 8 months, we're now eating seeds. We're eating flax seeds, we are eating sesame seeds, we are eating fenugreek seeds, we are having nuts, chia seeds as well. But remember, all that comes in orally, never vaginally. And the more you have seeds, the more fiber you're bringing in. Remember, fiber is good, is the food for the good bacteria. So you're feeding the good bacteria. So the more good bacteria you have, remember that kid who's been fed from early on will not grow up with cravings because we've had fiber from way younger, right? And that will now feed the good bacteria. So no cravings, no constipation, no bloating, no issues with hormonal changes, no mental issues, no depression. So feeding seeds, nuts, lots of veggies and fruits, you're doing the right thing.
I see. I see. And
also remember,
you want to add something? Go ahead though.
As we're talking about what happens there, remember one thing, that where the female genital is, that is the vagina, it's actually surrounded by two major outlets. That is the urethra on top and the anus at the bottom. So it's very important that when one is actually taking care of themselves, self-care, how do you clean yourself? For ladies actually in particular, not for men.
Can we answer that
like
after the break? I do not want to rush, because it's important for us to, first of all, understand what we're doing wrong, and then what should we do right. And cleaning is again, what we're talking about today, right? In terms of the hygiene and whatnot. There's a lot of conversation about yoni pearls, and then there's, you see the way we go for facial. So there's also facial, but for down there, and she's like, so should we be doing, all those things? What is it that we need to know? In as much as there's a lot of conversations online in terms of, do this, do that, try this, try that. What is that we should be mindful when it comes to grooming, of the area? To what extent should we go? But I do not want to rush any of you into that conversation because we're doing on a break. But can we take a few feedback? If we have one on WhatsApp, but as we prepare for that, there's Celine Kelsey, this is on Facebook. Oh no, we have WhatsApp ready. This one says, hey, your world is literally my favorite morning show to tune in. Thank you for the education you give us. So my question is, should the vagina have any smell, like literally any smell? And they're actually, yes, that's a very good question. So Doc, take note of that. And then this one says, good morning. My name is Dorcas, 32 years old. I have struggled with chronic body odor since primary school, and this has affected my self-esteem. Hata sitakangi kuhug watu, hata wao hawapendi kunihug. So I use roll-on, but it seems not to be enough. Is there something else I can do? I want to smell good. I want to be confident. Kindly help. Watching from Juja. Thank you so much, Dorcas. And then this one says, good morning, your world. I'm so glad we are having this conversation. My question is, why is it that little girls have fishy smelling vagina? I am a mom and I have noticed this despite being very hygienic. Wow, okay. All right, so can we take a break? And then when we come back, answer all these questions plus so much more, and also taking your feedback on the question that we're asking you this morning. And that is, what is that one piece of advice about personal hygiene you wish someone gave you as a teen? What is one piece of advice about personal hygiene you wish someone gave you as a teen? We'll also be looking at your feedback when we come back from the break. So do stay with us. The show is Your World. Of course, the conversation continues even during the break. Thank you so much for staying with us. This smell thing, okay? And Doc, that was a question that was actually asked, okay? And today we're looking at the female hygiene habits, and we're looking at what's normal versus what is not. Before we went on a break, there were a few questions, so let's, if we can have them back. But there was one on smell.
Yes.
And someone was asking, should there be any smell at all? Okay, so please address the smell, and then I know you were to talk about how then do we clean, which I think we'll do that before we end the show. Okay. But smell, should there be any
okay.
Yes.
Now, one thing you should know is that the vagina cannot have, I mean, it's not smell-free 100%, okay? There has to be some little normal smell that you expect, of course.
Okay.
But then when you have fishy smell, fishy odor,
okay,
then that is not normal. That shows you that the pH or the acidity has actually been altered due to some increase in some bacteria that are not normal, and that maybe the lactobacilli has been overwhelmed. Okay, so the smell should not be fishy.
Okay.
Okay, there is a smell that's tolerable, and especially maybe when people are, you know, having sexual intercourse.
Okay.
There'll have to be some smell there.
Okay.
Because remember, semen smells like fish. Yes,
okay,
and semen is actually alkaline, so it alters the acidity,
okay,
and therefore it changes things a little. It's actually one of those things that actually cause that fishy smell that one can get, especially after intercourse. And that's why there is an advice.
So that's the natural smell. We're not about semen. Because I've also seen women who are feeding their men pineapple. Kuleni pineapples. Kila siku tunakupatia pineapple. Okay, all right. So that alters the...
Yeah. Somehow. Yeah.
Okay. So some tolerable amount of, like the natural smell.
The natural smell
is there.
Is there. Because you see, this lady still sweat also. Okay? And sweat usually emits certain chemicals that have bring some odor, whether you like it or not. Yeah.
True.
So there has to be some odor, right? And that's why when somebody is actually grooming themselves or cleaning themselves, you start cleaning from your head, okay? Your ears, behind your ears, inside your ears, around your neck. If you have breasts, of course, below the breast flexures, okay, the genital area, and even the buttocks. So you have to clean yourself that, and even between your toes.
Yes.
Remember, because even the toes smell. Okay?
Yes.
So it has to be a whole body makeover in terms of cleanliness, so that you avoid those smells that can actually offend your partner.
Okay, all right. Also on discharge, can we also talk about, before we forget it, so discharge, you started talking about the clear, you know, milky, like what's good discharge and what's not good, which is important, you know, for all the people to know. At what point should you be concerned when, you know, when there's discharge?
First, let's start with the good.
Okay.
Now, the normal discharge that you expect from any lady, okay, who is functionally okay, medically okay, because people who have underlying medical conditions
yes,
like diabetes and so forth tend to have a lot of sugar in the body, and therefore they will have challenges with their lactobacilli, and they'll keep getting recurrent infections and discharges and so forth. So the normal discharge, ideally, depending on the time of the cycle, okay? Let's say one has just seen their periods, okay? As soon as the periods end, maybe 3-4 days after the periods have ended, then you expect to get that clear sort of discharge, okay? It is clear, no smell, okay? Then towards the middle of your cycle, when you're ovulating, then the clear discharge tends to increase, okay? Again, no smell, assuming no infection. After ovulation, now before the periods come, the discharge tends to thicken a little and becomes a little whitish. Again, no smell, right? But where there is a smell, then you will start getting suspicious that there is something which is
something is wrong. Can we tie that to the question? I think someone asked about the 12-year-old girl, and they were like, why do these men have fishy smell? And they said they're very hygienic. So fishy smell.
Fishy smell, of course, it just shows that the lactobacilli is not functioning as expected. Young girls probably still don't have enough of that lactobacilli because they are still growing up, and some of them are not very good at self-care. So here, this is where the mothers come into play, that they need to show their girls how to clean themselves, properly, proper good hygiene, changing their panties often, and generally keeping themselves clean.
And washing their hands thoroughly. Can we talk about, there was another question, I think. There were like 2 or 3 questions, so we can just pull it up in a second and answer the ones that we haven't. But so, yoni pearls, we're going for, this treatments, and we're putting things, and we're having steam, go in there. I don't know, I know this is very weird to ask you, because again, there's this business part, and then there's also the professional part where you would tell someone, no, you don't need this, you don't need that, you don't have to do this, and and all that. But can we just help people understand the whole yoni pearls and all those things that we are, the foreign objects?
Mostly, the whole treatment is called a vajacio. Like you mentioned, like a facial.
Yes.
Where we don't deal with the lips part. We deal with the upper part. Because that is where now the bumps and the ingrowns occur. So with the area, you just take care of it. That's why we encourage you exfoliate and use the right scrub, not the one with large particles. Use, it's just like the face, you see? This is the face, this is the face of it. So what you use, how you concerned on what you're using your face is how you concerned on what you're using on the area. That's why, for us, as we do the therapist of waxing, we encourage, don't insert things in there. Just come, wax, we do the vajacio, we'll steam. We are not steaming inside.
I have seen people actually go sit, and then there's a whole unavalishwa kama kigaun, and then you cover, and then you see the steam.
No, that's a different part. It's different from the vajacio. Because the vajacio, you're dealing with the area. You want it to look good, like Doc and my friend said here. You want it to look good. By looking good, you want it to be, like you said, like a baby's bum bum. How is a baby's bum bum? With no ingrowns, with no...
nothing,
So when you shave to the right direction, not all skins are to be waxed, by the way.
Good point.
Some people have extra sensitive skin, and we encourage them, like Doc said, just trim the area. If you trim the area and you still have ingrowns, now come, we do the vajacio, where we steam, extract the ingrowns, the ones that are on top of the skin, because they're the ones that if you deal with, utamharibu. So you deal with them, you extract, you exfoliate. Now, because you've waxed, the pores are left open. When they're open, they will attract bacterial infection, which will cause now bumps and other things that don't look good. So that's why we disinfect the area using surgical spirit. You clean it nicely, then you moisturize the area. doctor you will differ with me that one, but you will have to moisturize the area because when the area is free, you see it has no hair. Then you put on a cotton cloth and both the cloth and your skin are dry. What will happen? Friction. Now waxing a skin that has friction, that's a red flag. So that's why we encourage you exfoliate and you make sure you moisturize and put on the right undies.
And also know your skin. If it's extra sensitive, then you're better off not waxing at all. And even for shaving, then, because there's some people who are like, waxing, that's right. No, can't do that. Can't tolerate the pain. So then for those people who opt for shaving, what is then the correct way? Because I'm pretty sure you've had a lot of people complain of itching, bumps here and there. So what is the correct way?
If your hair grows downwards, make sure you're shaving downwards. If you shave it, the hair, the pubic area, the hair grows like this. So if you shave like this, you're changing the direction. So just make sure you're going downwardly, not when the skin is dry.
So what is it that we need?
If some use soap, you lather, then apply it, then shave. Others apply water when the skin is still moisturized with water. You shave. Don't shave when the skin is dry, because some go deep into cleaning it. Now, when you go deep and the skin is dry, unajikata.
There's also the biggest concern. I know, Doc, you want to say a lot of things. Sarah, go ahead, because I wanted to ask something else, but yes, go ahead.
This is about vagatio, and I don't mean to spoil your business. but the fact of the matter is, how did steaming of the genital area come about? Because history is very rich about that. This thing was started by Greeks. The early days, long before, when we were wearing skins and the likes. And what was the reason for steaming? The Greeks believed that in the early days, that the uterus was actually mobile. It was actually moving around there, the abdomen. And that this is the reason why the ladies were either having issues of infertility and so forth. So the steaming issue came about was that they used steaming to try and steam this uterus and tame it in one area so that this lady can be able to become fertile and get babies. But of course, we know, from anatomy, the uterus is placed in one place in the pelvis, down below, and it stays there. It doesn't move, all right? So that's how it came about, the issue of actually steaming the genital area. But does it add any value medically? I don't think so. Because there are even people who tell the ladies that you steam because you have uterine fibroids, so it's going to melt those fibroids, so your uterus is going to be free. If you want to get pregnant, you'll be able to get pregnant. That is not true.
That is not true.
That is not true at all. That is actually misleading the public. When you're steaming, you're simply steaming the vulva. But is it helping anything? I don't think so. There I don't agree with you. It doesn't help anything.
We're steaming because we can't extract when the skin is dry. When you extract when the skin is dry, the patient will feel a lot of pain. So you steam to make sure the pores open for you to be able to extract.
It's easier to.
But then why do they sit with those bowels with herbs?
There are two types. There's one for sitting, and there's one you just lie down, and the steamer is there steaming your area, but not sitting on it. That's a different.
So you don't do that yourself.
But do you want to talk about the risk of the sitting? Because again, this is like the steam. It's hot.
It's hot,
right? So what is it doing?
People get burnt by steam in the process.
And
they put herbs in those.
Yes, they do.
Those containers. Those herbs actually get absorbed through the vagina, go to the uterus, and pacify the uterus. I don't think so. Right? Remember, 60 degrees, everything must come out. Nothing gets sucked in. Never.
So we're just wasting time with all the herbs and what I discussed.
That is just a money-making business.
Yeah. Remember, if anything, you are just disrupting the flora.
Exactly.
The flora on the vagina.
Exactly.
So instead of steaming, just drink the water. Drink that warm water. Have your herbs, have your cinnamon inside, and then just drink it.
And then just clean with soap and water.
Okay.
Period. You know.
Okay.
No perfumes, no nothing.
Yeah, because someone actually, the question on body odor, and she was talking about she can't hug people, and people don't even like to hug her. She's tried using deodorants, it's not working. What can she do? So maybe you can answer from a nutrition point, and then Doc, you answer.
Allow me to just jump in. Just check your diet. You know, I'd really want her to come in the clinic and we talk about her diet, because she might be cleaning. You know, the way they say you first wash, then you go and moisturize, and then after that there's a whole skin routine, there's a whole shower routine. She might be doing all those 15 steps, right? And negating the diet. You might be eating badly. You might be skipping meals. You might be the person who's craving and having all those deep fried foods and having pizzas and having all those anti-inflammatory properties from food, right? So just check your diet. Switch out. You might be also taking lots of alcohol, because if you take alcohol, it messes your estrogen, and then estrogen and hormonal, and the hormones down there is now a whole problem, right? So just check your diet. What are you having in the breakfast? Are you having fruits and veggies? Are you having whole grain? Are you having if it's bread, is it brown bread, right? If it's chapati, is it brown chapati? Are you having lots of fruits? We talked about watermelon, pineapple, celery, berries. Are you having all that? Are you having frequency of hydration, or you're the kind you just drink water early in the morning and that's it for the day? Or are you waiting for late in the evening and that's it, right? So if you're taking water throughout, from morning all the way, and not like you now have a break of 30 minutes and then you're drinking a whole liter of water down the drain, right? So if you're taking small sips of water throughout the day, you're having good fruits and vegetables regularly, and not Monday to Monday you're having avocado, you know? Avocado lovers, please. Not Monday to Monday you're just having avocado, like you slice avocado in half for lunch and supper, and then tomorrow, then next week. No, have a variety. We talk about eating the rainbow. Have a pineapple today, have a watermelon in the evening, have avocado tomorrow, have your tomatoes in the morning. So basically eat the rainbow. Check your diet. Kick out any deep fried foods. Try and limit your alcohol, right? Cook with different type of oils. Not every time you're having the vegetable oil. Try coconut oil, try butter. You know, just check your diet. And then together with the 15 steps of your skin hygiene, then you'll be good to go.
I had that question for Kate on the 5,000. There's the dry brushing, and then there's, it's a lot.
She should tell us more about it.
It's a lot.
This is scrubbing.
Yes.
Sometimes when we go for haircuts, we also want you to have a facial scrub.
Yes.
So sometimes you want
we're scrubbing things down and all those things. 5,000 steps. So I want you to speak on that, and then also on, oh gosh, there's a question I really wanted to ask. Oh yeah, so after shaving, after waxing, after grooming, in a nutshell, what is it that we need to do so that we prevent, what we're talking about, the bumps, the itchiness, the dryness? What is it that we need to do to just, take care until our next appointment?
Until your next appointment. So let's say you waxed today. Today being on Wednesday, you'll be waxed today. For today, between now and your 24 hours, there are things you're not supposed to do. You're not supposed to have sex. You're not supposed to take very hot showers. You're not supposed to put on tight clothes, because you see the area is still sensitive. So you need air to move freely. Sex, gym, you're not supposed to go to the gym.
No? We can't exercise on that day.
Because you'll sweat a lot. Remember, your pores are open. At the back of your mind, you'll always say, my pores are open. I need to protect them. See, actually, they are open, but they are open. They can trap in anything that will now react to you having bumps and rashes. For 24 hours, no sex, no gym, no tight clothes, no very hot showers. Then avoid using anything. We have girls who come and tell us, unajua, the smell is so bad, so I insert things to smell nice. And I'm like, no. Once you insert things and your skin is not okay, you will have a reaction. Because girls are really fighting smelling bad.
Listen, this smell thing, is bringing us a lot of problems.
No, if you do that within the day you're waxed in the 24-hour, you'll be okay. Because from there, you'll be able to now to move on freely, as long as you don't shave in between your waxing sessions. Because now, you've been waxing nicely, your skin has been okay, you will need to shave at some point. Maybe you have an emergency, you need to put on a dress that will expose your armpits. Make sure you shave into the right direction.
All right.
And if you don't always have to shave, you can trim the hair.
Yes.
Just make sure you're doing it towards the right direction.
All right.
Key point towards the right direction.
Yeah. Okay. Can you also speak on the 15,000 steps that now we are dry, you need to dry exfoliating, dry brushing, and then we're doing a lot.
No, you're not supposed to do that much. Actually, doing it often makes your skin so sensitive.
Yes, it exposes your skin.
We do body scrubs, and we don't encourage you to do them more often. Do it once or twice a month.
Okay. All right.
See, killer weekend.
And then
because you've gone for a haircut, then you're told, by the way, let's do facial scrub. Okay? Let's do your manicure. Let's do your pedicure.
It's self-care,
your feet, you know. The next thing you're told, okay, you also need a massage. You see, your limbs are very stiff. So by the time you had actually budgeted yourself with your 1,500, you are look at 10K is gone.
How are you feeling after?
The thing is how you're feeling after. And so there's a balance to it. Don't do and overdo all this, you know, all those things. How often should people then wax or shave?
Waxing monthly, depending on your hair growth. There are people, their hair doesn't grow as fast. Kuna mtu wax like today, in the next 2 weeks, she will not have hair at all. But there's someone who will have hair. So once you become regular, you do it to your discomfort zone. Ukifika mahali you feel like this hair is too long, come wax. But normally on someone who has normal hair growth, do it monthly.
Once a month. Okay. All right.
There's where people tend to, you know, have a lot of hair growth. All over the legs. Their bellies. And,
the chest and the chin. So
those are the candidates who need a lot of work.
Clads for kids. Okay, so we're due on a break. Can you speak a little bit on okra? Okay, and these things that we're seeing on TikTok, and they say, oh, do this, you do that, it will help to do this and whatnot. Myth versus facts, really, on okra and so many other things that you've seen that you really want to set the record straight today, and then we go on a break.
For me, if I see people drinking okra, I'm thumbs up.
You're happy?
Because ideally, what the nutrient content it has, so I'm thumbs up, as long as you're not inserting again. So okra has antioxidants. Again, remember okra is a vegetable, so it comes with fiber, soluble fiber. So it helps with basically what goes in the body. Not necessarily directly, like if you take okra, it will go direct to your vagina. It doesn't work like that. So it helps with your body totally. Then now you see the benefits from your vagina. So okra water is good. As long as you're not having the paste and then applying down there or applying on the skin again, then that's
I've
good.
seen people actually make smoothies with okra. So they would soak the okra overnight, and then the juice from the okra they would make smoothies with. I'm like, oh.
For me, it's a plus. Remember, if you make smoothie, you bring in dairy. Dairy has calcium, has vitamin C. If you use yogurt, it has the pro and prebiotics. Then you bring in the okra, which is bringing the fiber and the vitamins. So for me, it's a plus.
It's a plus.
However you take it, as long as you take it, perfect.
However, the what is it called? The intention.
Yes. As long as you take it orally.
I love okra.
Oh, you're waiting for that.
Fried okra.
You're waiting for me to say yes or no, then you...
No, I was not waiting for that.
Okay.
I'm just telling you my own experience. I love okra.
Fried okra. I'm not even going to ask. I'm not going to ask any more questions. Listen, the question that we're asking you today, that is, what is one piece of advice about personal hygiene you wish someone gave you as a teen? Kami says, sharing towels with your spouse is so disgusting. Haya. Mwingine anasema purple, I mean, separate the two, says having one boyfriend is hygiene.
That is a fact.
It's a fact?
That is a fact.
Okay.
Stick to one partner.
Okay.
The reason is you don't know whether what the other partner does out there. Okay. So when you have too many of these relationships, then you're actually putting yourself at risk of getting all kinds of infections.
Infections, yes.
Including what you don't like, you know.
Yes.
You know?
I think stick to one partner and make sure that partner is also sticking to
you. Yes.
Yeah.
So you have to police them.
Correct.
How do you police them?
Hey, good question. We'll answer after the break. So just stay with us. We'll read more of your feedback. If you have more questions, remember when we come back, we'll have the last few minutes before we end the show. So if you have any question, please direct them to us. They will answer all your questions and also talk about the biggest, or the elephant in the room, and that is how do we clean? The Daktari is here and he says, yes, that one I will answer, okay? So we'll do all that after the break. Just stay with us. Welcome back. We're in the last few minutes of the show this Wellness Wednesday, where we're discussing female hygiene habits and we're looking at what's normal and what's not. And we've learned so much. If you're sitting there and be like, we have not learned anything. Hey, we've learned so much today. And like we said, the question that we're asking, that is, what is one piece of advice about personal hygiene you wish someone gave you as a teen? There's someone here who says, wait, so remember that having one boyfriend is hygiene? Kuna mtu amejibu akasema, having one girlfriend is also hygiene. So, I mean, it goes both ways. You know what you were asking? Hey, how do you police them? That is the question. That is where the question lies. Maringa Wiki says, kutumia maji baada ya kutoka haja kubwa, bali sio tissue. Yeah. Something that people should have been taught as well. And then there's the one who says, Patrick Kilonzo, who says, no one notices your brand of clothes as much as they notice if you smell bad. So wear deodorant, brush your teeth, and shower regularly, okay? And then there's another one here who says, this is teacher Ryan, who says, kuoga kila siku itafanya uanze kufade. Please shower, okay? Please shower. And then another one says, Ramajan, who says, clean the bed twice a month, okay? Twice a month? Okay, clean the bed twice. Amesema hivyo, okay? Watatu tubaki hivyo. All right, we have a question. Do we have the question on WhatsApp? Yes, so this one says, hello there. My question is on tissues. What texture should one use as far as they are concerned? And what about the colored ones? Are they advisable to use? Also, the panty liners, how can one use them safely? Okay, good question. So can we answer that as we prepare for the others? Tissue, doc.
Tissue.
Yes.
Now,
quality, tissue texture, and even the colored ones, are these safe?
Yeah, you'll find that some tissues are even scented.
Yes.
Ideally, for purposes of self-care and self-cleaning, you should not use anything scented for cleaning yourself.
Okay.
Okay? So the white tissue, that is soft, white, fluffy tissue, is okay. It is not abrasive, it doesn't bruise the skin.
Okay.
That is quite fine.
All right.
Okay? Now, the use of wet
panty
wipes.
liners.
Okay, wet wipes,
yes.
no.
No?
You should not use wet wipes.
We're all like, wait.
Wet wipes are medicated. They have chemicals in them.
There's alcohol-free, there's splashable, there's water-based.
There's water-based, fine, but the best thing to do is use plain water.
But it comes in form of a tissue.
Non-scented soap, if you can.
Wait.
Yes.
So, wet wipes?
Daktari, ini maji imewekwa tu kwa tissue. Jameni. Maji imewekwa kwa tissue, no alcohol, right? Yes. Water-based. Still a no on that?
As long as it doesn't have any chemicals in it.
Yes, alcohol-free.
Majority of them have.
No, you have to be keen now.
And then they scent them to entice you.
Yes, there are others that are very scented.
True.
And we
So
want to use those
no.
ones.
Okay, cool.
And
Do not.
And I think can we talk then about feminine wash?
Yes.
Okay, and there's a lot of them kwa shelves,
yes.
and a lot of even scented, not scented, like they call it feminine wet wipes.
Yes.
They were meant for that area, to clean that area. I don't know where you stand on this, and just maybe tied to then the whole cleaning, aspect. Okay. How do we clean?
Okay, let's start with cleaning, and then we talk about the various products. Okay, ideally, remember the female genital area has two major outlets. the urethra on top and the anus at the bottom. So anytime you use the bathroom, whether for short or for long call, you need to clean yourself properly to avoid infection, or rather for cross-infection from maybe from the anus to the vagina or from the urethra to the vagina. And also even after sexual intercourse, it's important that one goes and voids so that any secretions that may have actually ended up in the urethra are flushed out. Okay. And cleaning is supposed to be from front backwards, and you don't do it once and say that's it.
Yeah, that's it.
You do it once, twice, and then you're happy, and that's it. If you would like to maybe just wash a little bit, you can also wash, and then just pad with the soft tissue.
All right.
And you're done.
Okay.
Panty liners. What are panty liners for? People put on panty liners because they feel there is some discharge that they're not comfortable with, or they find it on their panties. And then, of course, even before you talk about panty liners, what kind of panties ideally are good for ladies? Like we are told by our grooming specialist, cotton panties are the best, and not tight-fitting panties. No, just fitting snugly, just enough that aerates your area. Thongs are not advisable. Okay? Why? Because some ladies put on thongs when they went to the gym. What happens? There is rubbing of between the anus and the vagina, and therefore transferring organisms. Okay, and then they end up with discharges and bad smells that they don't like. So thongs, avoid if you can. Panty liners. Only if maybe you've just finished your period and you feel it's not completely clear and you just want to feel clean, use it for a couple of days and then stop.
Then that's it.
That's it. Then just let the
area be.
Let it be. And then of course you'll ask me to put on panties all the time or not. What do you call in the street language? KDF. Well, in the evening, after work, you've showered, and put on your evening dera. You don't need to put on anything in there. Just stay that way, let it breathe. And sleep that way. Yes. Ideally, that is how it's supposed to be. But what do you find yourself in this cold weather? Tracksuit.
Because it is not nice. It is not. You wanted to say something?
I want to speak on the tissue and really what really what makes you want to wipe and brings now the irritation is like maybe if you're diarrheaing or you're constipated. Normally, if you're having normal stool, then 1, 2, 5 wipes, kidogo tu and you're done. But if it's diarrhea, then you'll wipe and still movement and then wipe and then. So also again, just check your diet.
Check your diet.
Make sure you're eating fruits and veggies. You're not constipated. You're not having diarrhea. You're having normal stool movement. Then now the type of tissue that doc said will work.
Okay. So I'll be very mindful of that. Okay, and still on cleaning. So speak on feminine washes. So whether it's the product or whether it's the wet wipes, where do you? I mean, not where do you stand, but what is the advice from a gynecological view?
From a gynecological point of view, number one, in the market we have lots and lots and lots of them, different brands, different makes, different shapes, name it, just to entice you so that you're actually able to select which one you feel suits you. But then, do you really need them? Because some of them say that some of these soaps are meant to promote the growth of lactobacilli and therefore control the pH and all that.
Yes, because of the pH thing. It's written because of the pH balance.
Okay, some of it is actually business, actually. But the ideal thing is soap, and just mild soap and some warm water is good enough. You don't need to go to those extents of using fancy soaps to clean the genital area. No,
so when you're saying mild soap and water, it's just like the outer...
The outer part. In fact, one thing I should emphasize is the vagina has its own self-cleansing system. Right from the cervix, the vaginal walls, and of course the entrance area. So And that is why I keep emphasizing that the vagina is angled in a way that it's able to wash itself out.
Yes.
So anything you put in there, you're actually intruding into the environment that's supposed to be left alone.
Or other people insert things and scrap. You know?
putting your fingers in, or putting a towel, using lemon, vinegar, and that is actually harming yourself.
People do crazy things in this
You're
street.
actually harming yourself.
Yeah.
You should not do that.
Okay.
The vagina is best left alone.
Okay. Do not disturb. Okay. And still on cleaning. So, for the soaps especially, like you're saying, you don't have to have a specific type of soap. Although we're told, sijui panga, it's milder, sijui haina, all those things. And so a lot of people would say, maybe yes, I can have bar soap, know. But then again, use that specific type of soap to clean the area.
Correct.
True or not?
Soap and water. Simple soap.
That's it.
And water.
Okay. And not inserting things and you know and
no,
whatnot.
like even the only pearls that we are talking about.
Yes.
Those are things which actually intrude. I mean, they are intrusive, right? And they interfere with the normal vaginal environment.
Yeah.
Okay.
Don't do it.
And they cause issues.
Yeah.
So
avoid. You wanted to say something still on yoni pearls and why we're seeing a lot of craze about it.
I'm fighting dog because of the vag issue. We don't deal with their inside.
Yes.
It's just the face of it.
External.
It's very external. But what's your
question? On dog, we have women who ask, do I use soap? Do I use plain water? What would you tell them?
For cleaning?
Yes.
Yeah. Most
cleaning in or cleaning out?
The whole area.
Okay.
Yeah.
Actually, cleaning the vulva. Basically, what you need is, the main thing is water. Okay. Then, even if you have to use any soap, just use a mild soap, the normal bathing soap, not the heavily scented ones that you can smell from 1 kilometer away. No, you don't have to use that. Just the normal bathing soap is good enough. And people should know how to clean themselves. It's not just splashing water, put soap and that's it. Remember, the vulva has folds. Okay? There's a labia majora, there's a labia minora. In between them, there is actually a ridge, right? So that ridge tends to store a lot of secretions, okay? So you need to clean that properly and wipe it off so that you don't leave any dirt there. Because those are actually the sources of smells that sometimes ladies complain about. Because you're fighting for a smell from inside and the kumbe is just right outside there. And you're not aware. So self-cleaning is very important. So you must clean yourself thoroughly. And also besides that, many ladies never look down there. True or false?
You answer that. You're watching us at home. Okay.
Yeah. So it's good to have a mirror.
Okay.
When you're washing yourself or when you're in the bathroom, just inspect and see what's happening. There could be something going on and you're not aware.
And you don't know.
Because to you people, it's a sacred area, so it's always covered.
You know?
Yeah. And too.
It's taboo. Don't even.
It's a taboo. You should not look at it and all that. No. Inspect your body. Just the way you admire your face on the mirror.
Inspect and see this pimple here. Interesting.
I think also to the point of the ridge between the types of labia, then shaving should be really recommended so that you get to the nitty-gritties when you're washing. Don't you think so?
You rarely get hair between the ridge. Most of the hair is actually in the pubis area, which is actually just above.
Okay.
The forest above. That's what I'm trying to...
The forest
is really against it.
Forest above. I can't. Okay. We also have people who have like recurrent infections. And again, like you're saying, so they don't know where it's coming from. And there will be that desperation to, try and see, tutapaka ndimu, tutapaka vinegar, mentioned vinegar, all those things, to work. So what is it that you'd want to tell those people, especially on the recurrent and addressing the root cause, of this recurrent infections?
Very good question. People tend to get recurrent infections, okay? And they ask you why. I have treated this thing for the longest time and it keeps coming back and forth. So I don't know what's happening. To a point that, you find some people now resorting to self-medication.
Yeah.
So-and-so told me to use this, it worked for them,
Yes.
so let me try
We
this,
all
let me
use
try
that. Yeah.
I think the important thing is that when you have a problem, it's important to go and see your medical provider.
Okay.
It doesn't matter who it is. It could be a nurse, it could be a doctor, it could be a gynecologist.
Okay.
To give you ideas on what should be done. You should actually be examined after taking a history and seeing, listening to how you've had these issues. Then he will examine you or she will examine you and see what is happening.
Yeah.
And then probably do some tests. Probably tests have been done to confirm what kind of infection you're having.
Yeah.
And therefore, based on that test that has been done, then now you can be given the appropriate treatment. If it's something that has kept recurring, then probably the treatment may be longer. Sometimes we treat these people who are having vaginitis for even up to sometimes even a month or two on a weekly basis and so forth, so that eventually we're able to clear the infection. What about the partner? People will tell you that, okay, because you're being treated for bacterial vaginosis, your partner should also be treated for the same. I don't think so. Your partner doesn't have to be treated as you're being treated.
Okay.
But it's not bad for him to go for a
Just go
checkup.
get checked,
Just
yes.
have him go for a checkup, do a urine test, let him be examined. If he has any issue, then the doctor will recommend whatever treatment he thinks is good for him.
Yeah. Okay. I see that.
Also on the recurrent, you also want to check your sugar levels, the way you said. If you
Correct.
have lots of sugar in your blood, then that translates to one, low immunity, two, feeding the bad bacteria. Bad bacteria, E. coli. E. coli causes vaginitis. Yeah, so just check your diet.
Yeah.
If you're, because the high sugar is mostly with people who are diabetic, right? So just manage your blood sugar, check your diet, do physical activity, take your medications if you're on them, right?
Okay.
And then that will now will show on your recurrent of your vaginitis.
Oh, I see that. Okay, so then for hormonal, imbalance, what is it that then we need to take? And especially we're talking about this older women, how then do we, menopausal women, and, after how then do they take care of themselves and also, think about their hygiene? Yeah. So what would you say in terms of just...
For me, top of my head, I'd say reduce the alcohol. Because once you take alcohol, it messes your estrogen. Once you mess your estrogen, you mess your hormone. Okay. One. Secondly, the probiotics. Okay. Remember we said there's what is it called? The brain-gut axis, where you feed your bacteria. So whether you're feeding the good or bad bacteria, translates to your hormones as well. Okay. So just check out if you're having the probiotics, the diet that we spoke about earlier. Secondly, I'd say do some physical activity. Physical activity makes you feel good. Good. Yes. Yeah. It gets in a good mood as well. Yeah. Because if you're having hormonal issues, then your mood also tends to sway. Yeah. So if you're having a good diet, then you're producing the good good moods, the neurotransmitters that work with a good mood, the serotonin, the likes that are for good mood. So if you're having a good diet, then you're always in a good mood. That's true. But if you're having now the cravings, you're feeding the bad bacteria, and then your mood fluctuates. So mostly check your diet, do physical activity, manage a healthy weight. So healthy weight is not just what you stand on the weighing scale. Come and let's do the body composition analysis. Because you can be standing on a weighing scale and you're just checking your, it's just mostly your water content, or maybe it's your fat content, or maybe it's your lean protein. Yeah, because somebody who's muscular, let's say like the bodybuilders, you'd easily say, you guy, you're overweight, you guy, you're obese. But it's more of the lean protein. Yeah. So just come in, let's do your body composition. We tell you, now you have lots of fat, and the fat is in this area. So now we talk about diet for that. Then we talk about diet for increasing muscle. We talk about weight, physical activity. Yeah, so you have to come in and we do that type of test, the way Doc was saying, and also your urine test, your liver test, all that come into play before we draft a diet plan for you.
Okay, we literally have to end the show. Yes, so what is it that people need to do before coming to see you? Because like I said, there are horror stories out there as far as waxing therapists and what they've seen. What is it that people need to do before coming for their appointment in terms of just really hygiene and preparing for that? Are there things that they should avoid or things that they should be mindful about in like literally 45 seconds or 30 if you can?
Mainly just clean up.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wash nicely. Make sure you've worn the right cloth, because now you don't want to do waxing and you're in jeans. Yeah, just wear the right cloth when you're coming, and make sure you're clean.
Okay.
Yeah.
Usikuje ulitoka sijui wapi yuko and then unaenda waxing. Okay, and Doc, to just close the cover, allow me to take that as your parting shot because it's really nice. Doc, older women as well, and then just to close the conversation today on hygiene and just putting infections and everything else at bay in like
all right, so
45 seconds.
What about older women? Older women are those women who are actually maybe in their perimenopausal area, I mean age, or already menopausal. Those who are in their late 40s, 50s, and so forth. Okay. They also tend to have their own unique issues. Okay, because once you get into menopause, then the ovaries cease producing estrogen, which makes you that woman, that beautiful woman that we are used to. Okay, and therefore your changes tend to occur in your body, from your hair, your skin, and of course in the genital area. So what happens? Then there is less lubrication. They tend to get a lot of inflammation and irritation, and even the normal lubrication that you get doesn't happen properly, and usually sex is painful. Okay, so what do you do for these women? The primary cause of what we call the genitourinary syndrome of menopause is actually lack of estrogen. Okay. So we encourage these women to take diets that have at least some natural estrogen, the soyas and so forth. Okay. But besides that, we also offer them estrogen creams and encourage them to use, you know, water-based lubrications in case of sexual activity. All right. And also, we also have now the advent of energy-based devices, you know, the so-called Mona Lisa seats and so forth, where they sit on some seats, and these seats have, you know, emit some laser. That also helps the genital area somehow to, you know, to not to go back to the youthful days, but at least to be able to function. Because all that, what I'm talking about, energy-based devices, are some of the products we also use in cosmetic gynecology, because cosmetic gynecology basically is about not just aesthetics, but also the functionality. Of the genital.
Okay, I see that. Thank you so much. I mean, listen, I wish you could sit here and continue with this conversation, because there's so much that we need to learn, and we learn every single day. But for now, allow us to put a pause, you know, over there. But we can keep the conversation going online, and that is at NTV Kenya, and that is both on Facebook and on X. And also use our WhatsApp number, 0112-500-400. If you still have more questions, send them our way. We'll forward them to our experts who will answer you. But for now, allow us to say goodbye, and a special thanks to our panelists today, Dr. Francis Were, who's a gynecologist, Joyce Awor, who is a consultant dietitian, and Catherine Werumu, waxing therapist from Zen Spa. Asanteni sana. We've learned a lot. And yes, we'll continue with the conversation online. But for now, have yourselves a lovely day ahead. We'll see you tomorrow right here on Your World. And that is tomorrow on Trendy Thursday, where we'll be talking about AI and filmmaking. A conversation we do not want to miss. So stay safe, God bless, and see you tomorrow. Goodbye.